It is the duty of Kizza Besigye's lawyers and the lawyers of all those who are in the court-martial to extract a decree.
A court decree, quite a familiar phrase to legal practitioners, but largely unknown to non-practitioners, turns out, going by the government argument, to be what stands in the way of those incarcerated through the annual process of military court trials. The government is blaming the legal representatives of the incarcerated veteran politician Dr. Kizza Besigye for delaying to extract court decree.
I have stated the chronology. You cannot take 2 weeks. If really you are concerned about the condition of your client, rather than the politics surrounding that, they should have acted as fast as Attorney General's chambers.
The court decree is an instrument upon which court orders can be executed through a warrant issued in line with the choice of a litigant.
A decree is just a summary of the orders given by court in a judgment. You heard the Chief Justice said his judgment was 200 pages.
Given the Supreme Court verdict on the constitutional appeal that annulled the trial of civilians by the military courts or any case involving custodial sentence, it is the lawyers of those detained through the annulled process that should extract the court decree. In his submissions to the House, Mao told Parliament that the Attorney General Chambers was swift to handle the draft of the decree.
Unfortunately, Madam Speaker, the draft decree had errors. Some of the errors were as obvious as wrong names, for instance. The errors were corrected, and the corrected decree was sent to the lawyers of Kizza Besigye. We have not yet received the corrected decree.
However, Besigye's lawyer, Lukwago, contends that the court decree is mandatory under the circumstances.
But with or without extraction of the decree, the declarations made by court becomes binding. They become binding at that very moment when they are made. So it is just a matter of process.
We no longer, by the way, extract decrees. Chairman Mao, my colleague, we no longer extract decrees for purposes of execution. Court decisions by nature, especially at the level of Supreme Court, are self-executing.
As you continue holding the suspects outside the law just because of the bureaucracy, because they are not tried, they are on a pre-trial. They are not on remand.
Lukwago and his counterparts applied for a habeas corpus 3 days after the Supreme Court ruling, after it became apparent that the government would not honor the decision.
They had agreed to reschedule the matter, which had been fixed for Tuesday. It is now going to come tomorrow. And during that sitting tomorrow, the court will give the appropriate directions, and they will definitely abide by the decree. The court had insisted that they needed the decree in order not to appear to overrule the Supreme Court.
The continued detention of Dr. Besigye and others has become a matter of concern that has had a section of his supporters take to the streets to express their dissatisfaction. Besigye and Obeid Lutale were abducted from Nairobi in November 2024, only to be produced before the General Court-Martial a week later to be charged with offences relating to security, illegal possession of firearms and treachery. Jackson Onyango, NTV.